What's up, everyone? Hey, truly humbled here by all your attention and support. Having busy life like mine nowadays, really have to ration what I choose to focus on. But this new tutoring gig really inspires me. I get some good energy and motivation by sharing my perspective. So thank you. It looks like studying my videos by answering a few of your most relevant questions is the way to go. So here it comes. Question number 1. Just got a Sprinter van and researching insurance options. When building a quote, my agent asked if my routine would require loading and unloading cargo. Do cargo van drivers carry a pallet jack or allowed to use warehouses forklift? Cargo van operators are normally get loaded by the shipper and unloaded by the receiver. Occasionally, you'll come across with a facility with no forklift, and your customer might ask to break down the pallet and hand load or unload. Just make sure you request the compensation for your labor. I talked about this rate impacting factor in my first video. So other than securing your load, you'll be hauling no-touch freight. Question number 2. I have an extended 2018 Ram Promaster commercially registered and insured under my other unrelated business. Wanted to see if I can do expedite using it. Based in Lansing, Michigan, and want to run regional. With a few adjustments, you can make it work. Talk to your insurance agent to underwrite your policies for trucking with intermediate radius. As far as your location, it's truly the best for regional operations. Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois are nation's dream markets. Question number 3. Why so many people choose to operate cargo vans? You could make much more driving 26,000 pounds or larger truck. You are absolutely correct. There is more money in driving CDL. As many of you, I thought about this many times. And here are my reasons to choose cargo van. No weigh stations. No electronic logging device. Driving through parkways. Easier parking and operation. Faster loading and unloading. To summarize my answer, if money is your only motivation, definitely go with a larger truck. Nomadic lifestyle is in the heart of cargo van trucking. Question number 4. Is it a good time to start? To buy a new Sprinter van and work long haul. The diesel is at $5.70. Undoubtedly, fuel is at all-time high at the moment. It might even increase more based on various projections. In the meantime, operators are forced to preserve older rates to stay competitive. While higher bids reflecting increased costs are always delayed, it should not be a reason for anyone to hold back from starting out. Eventually, new operators will catch up with the adjusted bidding trend and business as usual. When entering light trucking, it's important to consider time of the year. For instance, business drastically drops during summer months, as many facilities limit their operations. Also, you'll notice much less leads right after Christmas. On the other hand, many drivers take some time off during those periods, so it kind of balances out supply-demand. This industry has been around for decades and seen operators rise and fall. I believe with the right mindset, research, and persistence, one can be successful. Today, I'd like to dive into absolute fundamentals of the industry, freight distribution hierarchy. I know it might sound like a waste of time for some of you veterans, but give it a watch on your spare time. In my opinion, this topic is being ignored by many of us because we kind of feel embarrassed to bring up basics. Most of the following applies to trucking in general, but certain details are designed for expediting with gross vehicle weight rating of under 10,000 pounds. First tier is customers, also referred to as direct shippers when they contract carriers directly. These are manufacturers, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, startups shipping samples or demos. They represent both government and private sectors. Second tier, brokers. They act as intermediary between customers and carriers. In expediting specifically, freight distribution is mainly brokered by larger trucking companies looking for load recovery. They must maintain broker's authority to resell freight. Customers choose to work through brokers thanks to their network of available carriers throughout the country. Not many carriers have such a widespread driver supply and recovery options. Third tier goes to carriers, also known as trucking companies. These are parties transporting goods for any person or company and are responsible for any possible loss during transit. They must maintain carrier authority to operate, and their business models vary. Some run as owner-operators while contracting directly with brokers or direct shippers. Others focus on dispatching company-owned fleets and drivers. The rest dispatch company drivers, also exclusive and non-exclusive owner-operators. Fourth tier, owner-operators. These are drivers without interstate authority that choose to use their operation vehicle while assuming full ownership. There are a couple of ways to run as owner-operator. First, leasing onto a carrier, which technically means providing services and your own vehicle to a carrier exclusively. In this scenario, said carrier may partially or fully cover the cost of commercial insurance. In return, they would rely on your availability and lower operation rate. It's not a bad option for someone trying to avoid a burden of load negotiations and the stress of working with multiple dispatchers, but it surely limits your earning potential. Many doing this almost back-to-back at 70 to 90 cents per loaded mile. I personally don't see it as a beneficial option for operators, but to each their own. Another way is signing up with several carriers non-exclusively. While this scenario offers better financial potential and freedom of destination choices, it also requires one to maintain a full insurance umbrella. Fifth tier represents fleet owners. These are niche investors that dedicate their time, experience, and funds. They are involved in vehicle purchase, registration and insurance, build-out, and maintenance delegation. Also, sale of the equipment at the end of its lifespan. Some fleet owners maintain their own interstate authority, which technically makes them carriers. Sixth and most important tier is drivers. These are individuals that are either exploring the business or simply chose to avoid the risks of vehicle ownership altogether. Truth be told, good, responsible drivers are very hard to find, and if you do, keep them happy. Many drivers find it beneficial to work with fleet owners on a gross split or fixed rental rate. Here are a few popular splits. Driver takes 60 to 65% and is responsible for fuel only. Driver and fleet owners split 50-50 after deducting fuel. Driver takes 40% net. With fuel cost nowadays, this split appears to be the best for drivers. Regardless which split you decide for yourself, make sure to negotiate your bids with a carrier dispatcher on your own. First, you'll better learn the business and maturely step up as an owner-operator or a carrier going forward. Second, you'll know for sure that this is actually the negotiated rate and your carrier isn't making more off you on top of your split. As I mentioned in my previous video, another popular subcontracting scenario is pay per mile. Drivers are guaranteed to earn between 30 and 40 cents net per loaded mile and are not involved in rate negotiation. There are carriers that offer hourly-based employment, but it's rare, considering financial and tax liabilities this implies. Now, there is a bit of a confusion in our community about the role of dispatchers. There are three types of commonly called dispatchers.
First, private dispatchers. These individuals do not maintain their own authority and are hired by carriers. They locate and negotiate loads, process necessary paperwork, handle communications between customers and drivers. They normally operate on agreed commission of about 5% and up and do not offer factoring services. Carriers pay them commission from loads payout. Since they perform their activities using carriers' authority, it's critical to check their track record and reputation in the industry prior to hiring. Second type, dispatching carriers. If a dispatcher claims to offer services under their own authority, they actually are carriers, not dispatchers. The load payment will go to them instead of you, followed by your agreed way of payout. Most of the time, these companies offer complementary factoring. In this scenario, you act as owner-operator. Third type, dispatching brokers. If a dispatcher requesting to complete their carrier package and requires you to maintain your carrier authority, they actually are brokers. After completing loads, you'll have to invoice them with a proof of delivery and wait about 30 days for payout.
If you're limited on funds, factoring and financing companies are here to help. These companies provide similar, immediate cash flow solutions, but in different manners.
Factoring companies buy your business's unpaid invoices at a discount. You get a larger percentage of the invoice, between 95 and 98%, and the factory company takes ownership of the invoice and the payment process. They don't necessarily check your credit when signing up and offer two types of freight factoring. First one, recourse. It offers higher payout to you, but reserves the right for your factoring company to bill you if a broker or a customer fails to promptly pay the invoice. Second one, non-recourse. It offers slightly lower payout to you, but by definition, your factoring company assumes the risk of non-payment. In reality, though, non-recourse factoring can blow back on you too, depending on certain exceptions. Always read their small print and negotiate this part before signing up. Also note that most factoring companies require exclusive relations, meaning you won't be able to factor elsewhere for the length of your contract. Financing companies, on the other hand, lend you funds for the amount of your unpaid invoices. Once you collect funds from your direct shipper or broker, financing company either automatically withdraws the loan amount from your bank account or lets you do that. Since financing companies don't take ownership of your invoices, they check your credit history at the start and require a moderate score. However, the percentage they charge is lower compared to factoring. It varies between 1 and 2%. One more way to stay on top of your cash flow is Quickpay. You might not be aware of this option, but it is being offered by 9 out of 10 brokers for a fee. It is almost identical to the percentage charged by factoring companies, but it's non-exclusive and only binds you with a broker you signed up Quickpay with.
Just a quick note, there were numerous cases when brokers, carriers, or owner-operators failed to pay for the provided service. Before signing up with anyone in this industry, make sure to do your homework.
Check their online reviews. Ask feedback in our community. Request their MC or DOT and check them on Safer official website. Run broker's credit through your factoring company. Some load boards display brokers' ratings too. This is business, and if anyone feels uncomfortable to share their info upon request, better stay away.
Question of the day: who are you in this hierarchy? While the decision between being a driver and owner-operator is based on your industry experience and access to funds, The choice between being an owner-operator and a carrier isn't that obvious. In my opinion, if you intend to expand your operations to 5 vehicles or more, go ahead, apply for your own authority, and start building your relations with brokers and direct shippers. Otherwise, save your time and energy and run as owner-operator. Made this video mainly to establish common terms and industry roles, and going forward, it'll help me to express my ideas more transparently. I hope you'll find it valuable. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so we stay in touch. Comment below if you have questions or recommendations. Can't wait to put together and share my next topic, which should help to maximize your earnings. See you soon.